What do you mean, pause the backlog? I have so many games to play and so little time to play them. I also have all these TV shows to watch, all these books to read, plus all these chores to do. I can't pause. I totally get it, but hear me out here. I was strictly a Nintendo kid growing up, playing the N64, the GameCube, Game Boy, even playing Super Nintendo games I didn't get to play on the Game Boy Advance SP. As many good Nintendo games as there are, there's a whole world of games made by other game companies that are good. That's a reason to have a backlog. I branched out when I got my first non-Nintendo console with the Xbox 360. I remember spending so much time on Halo 3 and was even in a Call of Duty phase at that point. I even branched out into other fighting games besides Smash Brothers with Soul Calibur 4, Tekken 6, and Street Fighter 4. But then on the tail end of that generation, I got into Final Fantasy, which made me team PlayStation going forward. Final Fantasy 7 has been my favorite game of all time since 2011, and I remember telling my brother I was going to get caught up on PlayStation games I missed out on. I remember him telling me there are a lot of good ones. Thus, I got to college and started working part-time, and that was when more options started opening up to me, and I was not limited by getting games only on my birthday and Christmas. I would have to say that was the first time I had a real game backlog, and here's my experience with it. Here's my top 10 favorite games of all time as it stands right now. At 11 to 15, and you have my honorable mentions. Notice my question marks. These are the games I'm trying to decide on filling those spots with, and here are the games I'm hoping would be new favorites once I beat them. I'm not trying to sound all doom and gloom for backlogs. In fact, trying something new has at points led me to new favorites. I had a friend recommend Persona 4 Golden on the Vita, in which I had no intention of getting a Vita, but I got one anyway. I have got to say, Persona 4 and 5 are some of my top 5 favorite games of all time, and I like replaying them. Though I do admit, I replay 3, 4, and 5 over one of the SMTs or Personas I have not played yet. I sometimes browse and watch YouTube videos of what other people have as their top 10 favorite games, and everyone has a different list, which makes it cool that we all have unique tastes, likes, and dislikes. Even though the internet has a few choice words of disagreement. But I've learned time and time again that sometimes something really popular does not really quite resonate. Sometimes I try a game I really want to like, but don't get as into it as much as I want. Even as someone who grew up with an N64, I could not get into GoldenEye in the modern day, because really what that game did for a lot of people my age, Bungie's Halo trilogy did for me. I still occasionally boot up the Master Chief Collection on my PC, where playing Halo 3 online today just takes me back. The irony is, I just don't play that many multiplayer games online simply because it does not move the needle on my backlog. And I fell out of Call of Duty after Modern Warfare 2 on the 360, and whoa! That's Call of Duty now? I never could get into the popular battle royale genre either. Would I play if I decide to forget about the backlog? No, I like my single player games too much now. The very few online games I play in the present day consistently is Final Fantasy XIV, Smash Ultimate here and there, and the new Sonic Cross Worlds. It's better than the new Mario Kart, I would say. I would do Street Fighter 6 online, but I'm not a pro at that game. Another game I wanted to like was Secret of Mana. I played Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI and loved them. I still love the sprites of these games, which got me to pick up Sea of Stars when it came out, and I sometimes browse Steam for good looking pixel art games. It even got me interested in Stardew Valley. Sure, the creator says he was inspired by Harvest Moon, but come on. The graphics here in some ways do look like Chrono Triggers. And also look at Abigail's room. She has a poster of Chrono. More on this later, but Stardew Valley was a game I played with the backlog paused. But back to Secret of Mana. There's just something about it that makes me bounce right off and I don't know what it is. Maybe the color palette? Yeah, I think that's it. But also, when I tried my first Fire Emblem, which was Awakening, I didn't think I was going to like it because I could not get into real-time strategy games like StarCraft, Command & Conquer, and Halo Wars, despite liking Halo. But it turns out, I am a fan of turn-based games, and if I haven't expressed my love of JRPGs enough, I really love Fire Emblem Awakening. I also love Fates, which is a game that everyone else hates, and I went on to play 3 Houses and Engage day 1 and have a Switch 2 waiting for Fortune's Weave. However, I find myself replaying the Fire Emblem games mentioned rather than going back to play the old ones. I played Path of Radiance and Blazing Sword. I did appreciate the world building in Path of Radiance, and I like Lyn as a character from 7. My problem is, I do not like permadeath. I also played Xenoblade Chronicles back on the Wii, which its open environments were very much welcome after the super linear Final Fantasy XIII. The next game that came out, Xenoblade Cross, is sadly so underrated as an open world that I do not see it mentioned as a favorite, as it is one of mine. And I'm saying that as somebody who has open world games on the backlog, but they are the ones that I have procrastinated playing the most, as I find it to be that they are backlogs within a backlog. I'll be real with you guys, I had a medical emergency a few months back. It is what kickstarted the making of this video. I'm all for new gamers creating a backlog to try out new games or see what they missed out on. Some people like going on to the next game rather than replaying, and others are the opposite, and that's cool. However, I've been playing video games for pretty much as long as I've been alive at this point. For me, completing the backlog is an impossibility. I have realized there's always retro games I have never heard of, and there's always new games coming out. With so many games, it's impossible to play everything. Also, there are other hobbies and interests besides video games, not to mention I am an adult who loves his full-time job. But I'm also realizing my limitations as a human. Not to mention, I've had other problems with personal life as well. I've tried twice to get into Baldur's Gate 3, but it's been bad timing both times. When I tried it out the first time, the Persona 3 remake came out, and shortly after that, in the same month, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. After that, took a bit of a break from games as I played those two back-to-back non-stop until I beat both of them. I did pick up video games again, I always do after taking a break. Fast forward to the holiday season of that year, I tried Baldur's Gate 3 again, really liked what I played of it, but I got stressed out, had so much going on, and decided to play Final Fantasy VII again. I would also later go pick up a game called Clear Obscure Expedition 33. I started this at a perfect time. I actually went to France after it came out and learned a small bit of French. I did not, however, finish it, as not too long after coming back was when I had my medical emergency and was hospitalized. I think it might have been due to anxiety and stress. In my off time, I stress so much about clearing the gaming backlog and my YouTube channel, as well as other personal things, and if you've been following me, you know this is the first video I have uploaded on this channel in months. I wanted to make videos on Xenoblade Cross and Expedition 33. I really wanted to talk about the Switch release of Thousand Year Door. I had every intention of doing a video on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but it's taken me so long as I want to get the Platinum Trophy, only it has so much content. I do love the game and finish the main story though. Then, probably infamously by now, I ended up pausing my work on the Persona 3 Reload video. Hang on. Hello, can you see and hear me still? Okay, great. My Persona 3 video has taken a lot of work. I redrew my avatar and even animated it. What you're seeing is the work I've managed to get done with it. Not to mention, it did take me months to do my full face cut in like the game. I did start a 3D model on Blender, but it's not even close to being done. I really do want to talk about Persona, especially with the 4 remake being announced. However, after getting out of the hospital, everything got put on hold for a while. And then I have to admit, it took months to make this video. I started making it summer or fall of 2025. It did take a bit for me to get back into making videos. I am pausing Expedition 33 because as amazing as that game is, it's rather bleak, so I'm going to finish it later. After getting out of the hospital, I asked myself, what do I really want to play? I then immediately started replaying Final Fantasy VI thanks to Magic the Gathering. Okay, 6 is a little bleak as well, but I love Final Fantasy, so humor me here. I also really wanted to play Stardew Valley, which was a game I had been wanting to play for years, but could not due to the backlog. But then after pausing the backlog, I ended up crossing Stardew Valley off the list. I made it my mission to play 50 hours of this game to see where I stand, and I have got to say, I got really addicted to it. It was actually a little hard to stop playing, and I ended up going over 50 hours. I pulled away to play the Trails in the Sky remake when it came out. I've actually been playing this one for a while now. This series caught my eye within the past year or so, and seeing as how this is a remake of the earliest chapter in the Trails series, I thought this was the perfect game to jump in. It's quite a comfort game with its colorful anime aesthetic, likable characters, calming soundtrack, and unique battle system. I've been enjoying this one. I have also decided that I have a list of games to draw the line at once I beat them. At this point, my backlog is just infinite. I have come to terms with not being able to play everything nor finish everything. I have a friend who really wants me to play Red Dead Redemption 2, and you know, I think I'm going to play it once Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out because come on. If that game is $100 as rumored, I'm not buying it. I'll wait for a price drop. Then Elden Ring. I have to say, I love this game's level design and creature design, but I have to be honest, I'm not really ready for this uphill climb yet. After all, it's a marathon, not a sprint, so I'm going to have to pick this up when I pause the backlog again. I get some people are not like me and have started playing video games at different parts in their lives, and each story is different from mine. But here's my encouragement: if you're not doing YouTube full time where your job is to review games, then play video games for fun. If you do video game reviews on YouTube for a hobby, by all means, take your time, pace yourself. If it's what you do full time for a living, that's great, but also don't work too hard. Stay busy, but don't stress yourself out. Work hard, but also the Bible talks about working 6 days and resting on the 7th. Don't forget to have a day of the week where you rest. Also, if you want game recommendations, I got some. If you, the viewer, have some, comment below. Do you love Breath of the Wild or haven't played a Zelda game yet? Oh, you gotta play Ocarina of Time. That game is a classic worth playing to this day still. It's actually one of my most replayed games of all time. Never played a Mario game? Try out Super Mario Bros. 3, Mario World, or any of the 3D games like 64, Sunshine, as divisive as that one is, and Galaxy. Did you believe the IGN site that said Sonic was never good? I know his games have a reputation for being a mixed bag, but come on. You gotta try Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and Sonic Cross Shadow Generations. Do you play shooters online but curious about a single player one? Oh, you gotta play Bungie's Halo games, which are Combat Evolved 2, 3, and Reach. Also consider survival horror games such as the Resident Evil 2 and 4 remakes. Also, I love JRPGs RPGs. If you're okay with the anime aesthetic, try out Persona 3 Reload, Persona 5 Royal, or even Persona 4 Golden. Final Fantasy, there's some good choices there too. You want modern? Try the Final Fantasy 7 remake. For the classics, my favorite ones are 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I could go on, but also, you know, enjoy your comfort games. Anyway, long list, but thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And with that being said, take care.